Hi everybody, happy Friday. My project today is a Christmas one again. I'm using the Christmas Friends bundle and the Nested Essentials dies for this rectangle right here. I'm using the moose and the tree again, and I also, on the inside, I used a Merry Christmas that I got from the Humble Home, but you can also use Happy Holidays because this one says have a very Merry Christmas, so I just wanted plain Merry Christmas. So there's a lot of them in different sets we have, so whatever you want. And inside is, I know this is a Halloween cupcake, but they do make these for Christmas because I can't find anything right now for Christmas. I'm going out again tomorrow, so hopefully maybe I'll find some stuff. The box measures 3.5 by 3 by 1 1/4, so it's a little bit more deep, and it's about as wide as I could get it with the 8.5 by 11 cardstock. I love it. I think it's adorable. It's like a card box. You can write your little message here if you want to, or you can just put DSP here. And I love how this flips open. All right, so we need a piece of old Olive Cardstock that is 11 by 7. I cut this rectangle again. I said the Nested Essentials dies, and it is 3 by 2 3/8. Okay. I did this Merry Christmas with Versamark ink and some white embossing powder, and then I hit it with my heat gun. But you don't have to do that on the inside. You can just stamp. I thought I was going to put it on the front somewhere, so I did that, but you can just stamp it over here in real red ink if you want. All right, and then I'm using the Take a Bow DSP. We need one piece that is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4, and then one piece of basic white that is the same size, 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. We need 2 that are 1 1/4 by 2 3/4, 2 that are 3 1/4 by 1, and 2 that are 1 by 2 3/4, and that covers the whole box. Besides the bottom, which nobody really sees. All right, so let me get my Simply Scored. Remember, this is my host code. Please put that in for any purchases under $150, not including your shipping and your tax. All right, we're going to start on the 11-inch side. Score at 1 1/2, 2 3/4, 6 1/4, and 7 1/2. Turn it to the 7-inch side and score at 3/4, 2, 5, and 6 1/4. All right, now fold and burnish your score lines. All right, we're going to have this so that the 3 1/2-inch strip is here. This side here is 1 1/2. And there are 3/4 on the top and the bottom. And this is what we're going to be doing. All right, so we're going to start over here, and we're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, and take off these 2 rectangles. All right, go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the rectangle, and wedge both sides of the square. Okay, go to the next 2 score lines and cut it to the second score line. Take off this rectangle and wedge the square. Okay, and then we're going to take these 2 rectangles off. Okay, so turn it now so that the 3 1/2 inches on this side. And we're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, and take these 2 rectangles off. So we're just doing the same thing as we did on this side, just in reverse. Next score line, go to the second score line, take off the rectangle and wedge the square. Go to the next two score lines and cut them both to the second score line. Take off the rectangle and wedge the square. And then we're going to take these two rectangles off. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do is these two 3/4 inch strips on the top and bottom. I'm just going to take a little wedge off of each side. Flip it around and do the same thing. Okay, and that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done scoring and cutting. All right, and what we're going to be doing is attaching these 4 tabs to either side of this inner rectangle here. All right, so I'm going to put glue on these two first, and I'm going to take the score line on the tab and match it up to that side of that rectangle. All right, and then we're going to go on the other tabs and attach them to the same rectangle, just the other side. Okay, and that's your box. All right, so now we need our DSP. Okay, this largest piece is going to go on the front flap. These two pieces that are 1 1/4 by 2 3/4 are going to go on the small flap, front and back. Okay, and then these are the long sides and these are the short sides. All right, now let's do our stamping. So we need the piece that goes on the inside here. That is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. We need our rectangle, and we need some basic white cardstock for stamping. So let's do these first, and we're going to do just the Christmas tree right here. So Tuxedo Black Ink. And then we're going to do another Christmas tree up over here, so it will show behind and above the moose. Good. Okay, so that's it for those. And then we need our regular cardstock for our moose. And another tree that we're going to cut out. I'm going to cut these out, and then we're going to do our coloring. Okay, let's start with the tree. All 3 of them. I'm going to use dark pecan pie for the trunk and dark old olive for all the pine needles. All right, so that's our 3 trees. And for our moose, I'm going to start with dark pecan pie again. And on his fur, I'm just going to kind of color in the little spots that have accents. All right, and then I'm going to fill in the rest of his fur with light pecan pie. And for his antlers and his muzzle, I'm going to use light and dark crumb cake. So first I'm going to take the dark and I'm going to do the accents that the artist gave us. And then I'm going to color the rest in with the light crumb cake. Now we need real red, and I'm just going to do the boot of the skates and every other piece on his scarf. Okay, with dark old olive, I'm going to do his socks and the rest of the scarf. And then with light smoky slate, I'm going to do the blades. All right. Okay, now we need our box, and I'm going to use a 3/8 inch adhesive backed Velcro dot to close it. Okay, and then I'm going to cut my Merry Christmas, but you can just stamp it if you want to. And I'm going to put that down over here. Alright, I put my Velcro dot on too quickly because we needed to put this piece down first with some liquid glue. And I think I salvaged the Velcro dot, so I'm just going to put it upside down on this one. And then push it down, make sure it's adhered nicely. And there we go. Now our closure is done. All right, now we have this. And I'm going to take my mousse, and I want a little bit of the tree showing behind him. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on him. And I'm going to have his feet about, well, it depends on where you stamped your tree, but I want a bunch of the tree showing. And then I moved him over a little this time, so a little piece of my tree is going to be off the edge too. And I'm going to take, I cut 1 star from Daffodil Delight cardstock, and I'm going to put just a dot of glue on there. And put the tip of my tree on there. All right, and then I'm going to get a side of my dimensionals. I'm going to try to get it up there so that it kind of catches the star too. And then I'll put one down there. And we're going to attach this so that the tree, some of the bottom branches come off the edge. Okay. All right, and then we're going to put dimensionals on this. I'm going to try to center this right like that. Okay, now I'm going to take a double strand of linen thread, and I'm going to put it over here, and we're going to tie a bow at the top, and then we'll move the strings around afterwards. And we're only tying it around this flap, not the whole box. If that's how you want to close it, though, you can, if you don't want to use Velcro dots. All right, and then I'm going to split these and have them go kind of underneath the back of the mousse, just so that it gives a little interest back there. And hopefully they'll stay away from most of the tree. All right. And then I'm just going to take a glue dot and put it under the knot so that it'll stay there. Okay. And then for the final touch, I'm going to take some of our cherry cobbler berries, and I'm going to put my last 3 single ones. You can tell what my favorite was. And I'm going to put 3 of them on the tree. And I think this is the cutest thing. I love it. I hope you do too. All right. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And if you have any questions, all my info is below. And also, I have some of my daughter's wedding pictures over on my Facebook group if you'd like to join that. You just have to answer a question so that I don't get any spam on there. That's all, if you're not already a member. All right. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.